All right. Start out with a dorky face. No. So the gift of contrast. My life this week, last Saturday, I ended up with a high fever. And after struggling with a general discomfort for about 3 weeks, I ended up in the ER with a kidney infection. And that's at the exact point when you realize how you should have appreciated your health. I was like, oh, to be healthy again, how would that feel? It feels amazing. That's just a small example of contrast. Like, we appreciate our health when we don't feel good. We're like, we would give anything, like that would be heaven, to not have a kidney infection. And so by the power of modern Western medicine, thank you, doctor, I got antibiotics. They're a miracle. I'm going to be on probiotics next, and I am. But to say thank you, in that moment, that I am healthy. So if you're healthy right now, if there's any part of you that feels healthy, I invite you to connect with the divine in your life and give gratitude for that, to be grateful, because it's a gift. So I was guided to pray the 23rd Psalm today. You notice I said she. Because in the topic of the gift of contrast, I'm a number 1 in numerology, and so everything shows why I'm a minister, flows through the filter of me. It's all about me, right? And that's also a unity principle. We are the point of God in the universe. Your consciousness is God in all of its fullness at all times, running through the filter of your human ego. So I think back about my journey and my relationship with God, with Jesus as the representative of God. And as a small child, small because I was skinny, I was 9, and my life changed dramatically when my parents separated and my mom got a new husband who was a child molester. And he molested myself and my sister. I'm not sure about my brother, but it changed my life. It almost extinguished my light. Like, it seemed like I was this Mary, Merry, child of light and love, and this dark cloud just came in and snuffed it all out, and I was all alone, and there was no one to trust. And at the same time, I had been in church. My grandmother had taken me to church from the time I was 1 year old. So I knew Jesus as my friend. That was my childhood friend. And when this happened to me, it was the only thing that got me through. Jesus got me through all of that and was God to me. It wasn't myself. It wasn't myself. It was a big contrast. Here's God, and here's this person, all alone, powerless, except for my prayers to Jesus, which worked pretty good, by the way. So I decided I was getting baptized at a revival at my church. We had a evangelist come through town, and they're powerful, And I'm like, I want to be baptized. My parents are like, no, you are too young. I said, no, I'm going to do it. And my grandma was like, yeah, you can do it. I'm like, she's the boss. So on that day, as I was they're Baptists, you're going under. I remember that moment. It was a pivotal point. Because we are told that the Holy Spirit we're inviting the Holy Spirit into our life. And so at that point, the contrast shifted from Jesus out here to, oh, the Holy Spirit will be in me. That will be part of me then. So the distance shortened. And I went under the water, and I swear to all that is divine, which is all of you, that I felt that Holy Spirit expand within me. I know that now, that it was always there, but part of my light came back and expanded, and I knew that I was never alone, and that there was good, there was God in the world, there was hope, that it wasn't all evil. I still saw God as a man in the sky and Jesus as my friend, and that I was to pray outside of myself. The contrast was still there. But as this journey has unfolded within the last 6 years with you guys, becoming a minister, going through ministerial school at Unity would be much different than the Baptist church, which women aren't even allowed to be ministers in. But still, it's still pretty fundamental schooling. Still about the Bible a lot. But in Unity, we see it as a metaphysical teaching, that everything in it applies to you. You can take any sentence in the Bible and say, okay, I'm all the characters here. And how does that apply to right now in my life? And so the gap closes a little bit more. But still, I'm thinking, okay, I have to have this persona of what a minister looks like out in the world. I have to be loved, but with a heart full of love that was still closed. My heart's been closed until very recently. And contrast, I've learned, is the portal to transformation. It's the portal to an open heart. It is what is the word? I had it driving. Contrast is the portal to rebirth. And we've been reborn a lot. The day that I was baptized, I was reborn. But if we know within our hearts and we set the intention to come from love, to set that intention to come from love. That's what they do every day. That's what she does every day. We have to consciously say, today I'm going to come from love. In this conversation with someone that I may be challenged by, my intention is to meet it with love. And the contrast is just showing me navigating the way. Now I could say, and most of you know, I'm just meeting you. You're my brand new friend of the day. Thank you. But most of you know that Matt and I are navigating a divorce after 25 years. And that's a big contrast of how we did things. 2 train wrecks. Boom. And how we did it. I can tell you right now that I love Matt in this moment more than I've ever loved him ever in my entire life. Yesterday was my dad's 80th birthday. Well, it was his party. His birthday was 9/11. And so my nuclear family, I spent the day with yesterday. My mom, my dad, my brother, and my sister, and various cousins. And going with the intention to have an open heart, to be of love, completely transformed what that could have been. And like my dad and I have had this wall He's, you know, the man that's all about it's all about appearances and not an open heart. And I made the intention to connect with my dad on a deeper level. And so I just told him when I got there, because he has a resting grumpy face. I'm like, Dad, you have a grumpy face right now. And I just kissed him on the cheek. I just kept every time I walked by, I'd kiss him on the cheek and say, I love you so much, Dad. Because I say I love you. I'm like, I love you when we're leaving, you know. But I made it a point, it was my intention to shower him with more love than I've ever probably given him since I was a little kid, I was naturally doing that all the time. And then I did that with my brother. And you guys have to understand, none of us have been close. It's been a really rough road of contrast. The contrast of how we would normally interact and yesterday was huge. And it was because of my intention. My brother has very low self-worth. And he had some friends there, his drinking buddies. And he introduces me to one of them, and he says, you accept him? You like him? And he was kidding his friend. It's all, yes, I do. I love him very much. I said, and I have his back. And he just looked at me and tears rolled down his face. You are love. You are the point of the universe that is love, that is God. And I'm here to tell you that you can transform anything with that love. Anything. You can transform 25 years and a bad divorce, a bad relationship, and it's all transformed by your intention just to love them in all of it. So moving forward, my intention, and I invite you to share it with me, is to see the contrast in maybe a past, because if it was yesterday, it's the past. In any of your relationships, and just know that this is your movie. You are the star. You are the one thing that doesn't change in the scenario of all of the co-actors, what do you call it? Your co-stars. They're all in it, but it's a chance again and again and again for you to show up. For you to show up as the wide open hearts that you are. And each contrast, each person, each situation that challenges you, and you have a choice in that moment to shut down, to match that energy, or to heal everybody in the room with who you are. And then, when you do that, what matches this energy, this intention to love, to have your heart wide open, the next players that come in match that. And that's so exciting. It's so exciting because it happens and it's true. And I believe that's what's called the promised land. The promised land is when you are showing up and all of the what are they called again? Co-stars. Stars. Start gathering. And that's what I see in this room right here, right now. It's what I see. Raven. Oh my gosh. Look at, oh my God. Like pure love. That's who you are, Jocelyn. That's who you are, Margie. Set your intention, and the universe will rush to match it. Forgive quickly. Take it off. I've learned contrast big this week. Last Sunday, I was supposed to talk about self-worth, finding self-worth. And we breezed past that. I love myself more than I ever have, ever. And that gives me the capacity to be that, to love you. And I know that there is no separation between me and you. So we all rise together. And I'm so grateful and humbled to be your minister. I love you so much. Thank you.